All right, so the way back. I think every year or every other year or every so often, you'll notice that we get one of these sports movies that are driven with a character at the forefront who's just been, through a lot of trauma or has gone through something traumatic enough to happen to where they just need to resurrect themselves, basically. We get a lot of these movies. And so when I saw the trailer for this, I just thought, well, this is the 2020 time for that movie because we're going to get it no matter what. And I gotta say, going into it, I was pleasantly surprised that this movie didn't so much focus on, the typical trope, I guess, of these sports movies. There are things that they do, go off in the direction to explain that we've seen before, but at the same time, it's usually the same formula to a T. This one is strictly about Ben Affleck's character. This has nothing to do with the team. It has everything to do with him, what he's been through, and just his life before, in the middle, and kind of what we suggest it to be as it's coming to an end. And I thought that was very refreshing. I really enjoyed that, and I really liked getting to see Ben Affleck just really own it. This is probably one of the best performances he's ever given, and I really appreciated just seeing a new side of him. Obviously, and people have said this and you can already put it together if you follow the media, that Ben Affleck's been through some hard times in the last few months, or for a few years really. And so watching this, it felt like this was something he could personalize very much, relate to very much. And so a part of me almost felt like we got to just see Ben be Ben. And he was acting, yes, but it also felt like because he can personalize so well with just dealing with certain aspects of this movie, it was stunning to look at. It was heartbreaking to watch at times. That being said, again, I think this is one of his best performances, and I really liked that we can see a film solely focus on just that character and it being from his point of view and his journey. Like I said earlier, we didn't really get a whole lot about the team, which is probably my only nitpicky note about it, is I would have loved to have seen some backstory for the team members. Because usually when you tell an underdog story, the team has some involvement of being misunderstood. They all attend this, private school, or at least I believe it is. So maybe, they're not as rough around the edges as most teams in most of these sport hero movies. But at the same time, I wanted a little bit more. I think this is the kind of story that would have worked well as a TV series, maybe a one-off mini-series, 8 episodes, just each episode can kind of explore the team a little bit, but we'll still focus on our hero, which is Ben Affleck. That was just my nitpicky moment. But for the most part, again, going back, this movie does get saved by Ben Affleck. I loved every personal just moment to kind of explore just what he was thinking. If it was a camera close-up of just him kind of, just existing, and a really heartbreaking scenario of him thinking or just not caring or not understanding life anymore. It was so hard to view, but you also appreciated the movie for showing how realistic that is for people who suffer from alcoholism and just not knowing how to go on anymore once you've been through something very traumatic. So when you watch the movie, I think you'll be enlightened, you'll be surprised. You may think it feels a little too familiar, so you may not think it's the best, and that's okay. But I will say, as far as these movies go and these sports drama and these kind of underdog stories go, this is a much better one than recent ones from the last few years. So not an amazing movie, but it is not by any means a bad movie. It's actually one I would say check out when you can. And very much like I've said in the past, this is not something you have to rush to a theater to see. If you have an opportunity to, maybe when the world is not in such chaos, then I would have said check it out. Otherwise, watch it from the comfort of your own home. And I think you'll get just as much enjoyment out of it that way too. So yeah, that is my review for The Way Back. Have you seen the film? What did you think of it? Did you like Ben Affleck? Would you agree this is probably his best work in some years? And let me know. And thank you guys always again for checking out these reviews. For those that watch, if you like these reviews, please click subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss one. I always love putting them out for you. And thank you. And I look forward to the next one, guys. I'll catch you then.